before we get started, do y'all see that magnificent sunset? Wow. What it is, you guys, it is your girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the drama I like prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Hoping y'all to see justice before it all fades to black. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. So what's up? First, I got on my college t-shirt. Yes, I am college material. Valencia College. Yes, girl, if you in Orlando, this is the best college ever. Like, I'm telling you, I went there twice in two different eras because, I started college in 2000 and, became that single mother by force, not choice. So I had to drop out of college. I was only going part-time by 2003. And then I went back to college at age 34 after witnessing my mother graduate from Columbia College, and then also from, what's the other school she graduated from? God, can't even think of it right now. But I watched her graduate with her master's, and that encouraged me at 34 to go back to school. So when I left school in 2003, and then went back in 2016, that was 13 years in between. Then when I went back, I thought I was going to be done with college, like boom, boom, pow. I thought, I only had a few more classes. Baby, no. I had a whole long laundry list of classes because I changed my major. And it ended up being a whole bunch of classes I took, didn't go for anything, and a whole bunch of classes I needed. So it took me 4.5, almost 5 years to finish school. Right. So in two different eras, those teachers, I'm telling you. Now, the East Campus is a bit bougie. But the West Campus, girl, the West Campus is so down to earth. Those teachers there, especially the graphic design area, yes, they would sit there with you all day long. They weren't those type of professors that just expect you to know everything and wasn't willing to just, explain, because there are those type of professors. Girl, I can't even talk. They want to get paid, but they don't want to teach. That is not this school here. Every professor that I had when I first started in 2000, and then when I went back in 2016 to 2020 when I finished up. Great school. Now that I plugged all that in and fumbled all over all my words, I got a story time that I promised y'all. Now, y'all know yesterday I reviewed Jordan the Chosen One's video of him being wrongfully accused of something, and they was about to try to arrest him for something he did not do. And it is that easy. Most people think it's not that easy to get caught up. You better watch your surroundings. You better always have you an alibi. Stay away from folks that ain't doing no good. And it's good to know what people really are doing. Like, if they're around you, it's not good to be nosy, but it's best to be nosy, because if y'all in any type of relationship, if they're doing anything wrong, they're gonna assume that you are too. So girls, watch your boyfriends. The fellas, watch your girlfriends, your homeboys, your homegirls. You can easily slip through the cracks and be one of those wrongfully incarcerated people, or one of those people that shouldn't take the whole downfall that just happened to be there or something, and then they end up throwing everything on you. Okay, so I was reviewing that video, and I told you that I was going to tell y'all the story time of when a man with a weapon ran on campus as we were at school. That was a crazy experience. Now, I believe that this happened, and I can't remember if it was already 2020. I know I was in my last year of college. Okay, so I don't know if it was before the Christmas break or after. So if it was before, it would have been 2019. If it was after, of course, it was 2020, right? Okay, so I was in graphic design classes. I had to go attend East and West campus. My web design classes were over on the East, and like I said, they were bougie, girl. They were bougie. My graphic design classes were over on the West. Okay, so as a graphic design student, you had the lab. I love to work in the lab because they have this huge Mac computer. They have the big, huge Mac computers, but the screens are so big. Like y'all see, I always work off my little broke laptop, but the screen on my laptop is not that large. Can you imagine working on a project and the screen is like wide like this? You can have all your pieces out, like in Photoshop, you can move your windows around and just have so much room to work. Like if you're going back and forth, because a lot of times you got to go to Illustrator and make something. Then you got to bring it over here to InDesign. So you can have all your stuff where you could just see what you're doing. You're in a, it was like a vibe. It's a vibe when you're in the lab, right? Because you have all these people that are creative and they're hustling, trying to get their projects done. You trying to get your projects done. So it's a little light chat. Like it's almost like a family. The graphic design department was like a family. And also they had the nice expensive printer where you could print out all your work. Like it came out quality. And I think I was trying to print my project because I always, no matter what, by me being an older student and a graphic design student, I didn't just catch on. My era of being exposed to graphic design was not technically what was current, fresh, and new. You have people now that just have been immersed in graphic design and things like that since they were born, and in computers since they were born. They were born in a computer age. I was not. I feel like my generation was left the F behind. Some got left behind, some didn't. So it was like a 50-50 type thing. We weren't necessarily the computer age, but a lot of us had to catch up, and I definitely had to catch up because I ain't know nothing about a computer. I couldn't even type when I first enrolled into graphic design classes. So not only was I trying to get up to par on that learning curve just by being an older student, I also didn't quite understand the designs of today. So it would always take me longer to do my assignments, but I would always sit there, and I'm handicapped, like I'm disabled. So that as well takes me longer. So it's like mental things that's making me take longer, physical things making me take longer. So it would, dang, I almost dropped there. It would always be the assignment is due. I would start as soon as they give me the assignment, and I would plan to be done. I would stay up almost all night, barely sleep, 2 hours of sleep, wake up early before work. I was constantly working on my lunches. I didn't even have time to eat my food. I would be hurrying, trying to flip that laptop open and work on my assignment so that I can, because they were super, super strict also in graphic design. They did not play. Nothing was accepted late. I don't care how much work you put in. You turn it in late if you want to. You ain't getting no credit for it. So I'm trying to hurry up. I'm like, okay, so I'll try to print my stuff before class. It was like the devil always, he knew how to just hold me back and make things just hard for no freaking reason. So I should have had my stuff already printed out, but I was still working on my assignment, so I couldn't. So I was going to go. Now, times in the graphic design lab, it gets kind of loud because we got our little corny jokes we telling. We got our little, you got the little ambient music and this and that. And a lot of times people get to talking about projects and forget that some people need concentration, right? So sometimes it was kind of hard to work in the lab for me because I really do believe I have signs of ADHD. Eventually, I'm just going to go see and be diagnosed or not diagnosed, so that I'll know for sure. But I really believe that is a problem for me. And I believe it's something I probably struggled with since I was a child because I've never been able to, focus on something long enough to get something done. I just be all over the place. Here. Blah, blah, blah. I know y'all see that, right? But that was my only way to function, So the quietest place would be in the school's library. So I'm getting to school. I only got about an hour. I got to print my assignment. So I get out the car, and at first I was going to go to the library, and because it's a lot quieter there, I could print over there and this and that, bring in my assignment and then work. And then also when assignments are due, it's too many people. A lot of your students, your co-students, I don't even know what to call them, classmates, they would also be trying to print. So you don't want your assignment held up from printing because it's printing somebody else's ish. So that too is why you would go to the library. So my first mind said, go to the library. I said, no, girl, let me just go ahead and go to the lab because I don't want to have to pack up my stuff at the last time and then run over to class. Because if you late to class, that's your ass. They didn't accept being late. And if you were late, it didn't matter. They're still not going to accept your assignment because it's not dropped in the Dropbox, right? So you also had to drop your files in the Dropbox, and we always had to print and mount our assignments because we are graphic designers. We're expected to present it on these black mat boards. So you had to cut your stuff out all nice and neat, and it had to be printed, everything, girl. So I get to the lab and I'm trying to get in the door, and the door won't open. It's locked. The door is never locked like that. Okay, unless you're in a night class and they automatically lock. But this was like 4 or 5 o'clock. Like, why are the doors locked? So I go around. There's multiple doors on each building. Like each building, it was several buildings that had different like units, like the math area, the graphic design area. They would be in different buildings, but each building had several doors around it. I go around. That door is closed. So I'm like, what the heck going on? So I'm like, I have literally got this project. I'm about to be, Okay, so I went back to the first door that I was at, and I was like pulling on the door again. I'm like, why is the door locked? So I go and I sit down in front of the school, in front of the building, because the school is big. So that graphic design area building, I go sit down in front of the building. Then I see somebody come out the building. So I run over there and I'm like, what's going on? So she's like, get inside, get inside. I'll go inside and I'm like, okay. Like, she said, there's a guy on campus with a weapon, a GUN. I'm like, so why you let me in here? I should have went on. She done got me in here. Now they said you cannot leave out the building. So now I'm locked down in this building because there's a guy with the weapon running around the campus. And what is so crazy, I think should have alerted us and let us know that, warned the students that would be coming to the school, because they would have all our numbers. They would send us text messages. They would send us alerts about the water being off and stuff like that. But girl, it's a man with a weapon running around here and you ain't told us nothing. Like, for real, I literally was sitting outside like boo-boo the darn fool, waiting to get into this building. So now the girl lets me in and she's like, we're on lockdown. They don't know where he is. The last we heard, he was at the library. Now, y'all know me and Money went to college at the same time. So now I'm nervous. I'm like, wait, my daughter is in the library, because that's where the tutoring would be. That's where her a lab or tutoring or something she had to do, because she had so much to do, because she had the scholarship. So the scholarship entails a lot, not just your schoolwork. So she spent a lot of time in the library. So I'm like, hold on, my daughter could be in the library. So I'm like worrying. I'm like, what the heck going on? Now I'm stuck up in this building, and all of a sudden, like everybody, now the way that the graphic design lab was, we had like a little break room area. Oh, I'm getting emotional because I miss school. Y'all, I never thought I would say these words. But we would have our little break area. We would have the classroom. We would have like a big round table, like it's the big long table for, like, you know how if you were going to present in front of companies or something like that, the big long table, we had one of those so we could learn how to do that and stuff. Then we had the lab. Okay. So everybody was like to the lab, and all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, we don't know what's going on. They thought they seen somebody run by the window, because the whole lab is surrounded by glass windows. So everybody runs from the lab area back up into the classroom. Now the classroom does not have any windows. It's really like boxed in, but everybody's crowded together like this, and we're all in the back of the classroom. And everybody is like going crazy. There's girls crying. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. How did I get into this? I literally could have just been late to school or something. Like, how I come right at the time that this is happening. Then is my daughter okay? Because she's over there in the library, and that's where they heard that he was in the library. So then we start hearing helicopters flying over. This is crazy. I don't even know how long we were in the classroom, but girl, every minute just seemed crazy, right? So finally, I don't know if the teachers or who came and said that they're looking for a suspect, and they gave the description of the suspect. And that's where I told you in that Jordan the Chosen One video that it was like 3 black guys in the class, and they were like, hey, that description fits me. I hope they don't think I'm, that person. Because in Jordan the Chosen One, in his video, he was saying that people just assume you're somebody by you may have had the same clothes on, or you loosely fit that description. And that's what they were saying. Ironically, that's all of our descriptions. And we're here for class, but we could be, they could think we the man running around with a GUN, right? And that's crazy. And I literally looked at them and I'm like, yeah, y'all all do fit that description. But grace of God. And then I couldn't even call out. Like, everybody's like worried. I think I did call my cousin or something, because I was trying to let the family know like what's going on, just in case, because you never know how things like that turn out. But grace of God, we were all out of there. I believe they did catch the guy. I pray to God they caught the right guy. But they said it was a guy that was running around the campus with the weapon. We don't know if he was a student or what, or we don't know what happened after that. But it was just, that really made me nervous. And more than myself, I didn't know where my daughter was. Like, I was under the impression she would have been in that library. All right, guys. So with that said, those vague descriptions, talking about the person fits that description. When you give a vague description, majority of us can fit into that description. That's how you can easily wrongfully accuse. And then once accused, they're going after you tooth and nail. They're not always necessarily looking for evidence to back whether you are or are not. A lot of times when they arrest you, that's it. They don't care you're going to have to get a lawyer that's going to fight, that's going to actually care to find that supporting evidence for you, or, that it's in your favor. Because if you just leave it up to them, when you're arrested, It's just easy to be, if you're wrongfully arrested, it's so much easier to be wrongfully convicted because they're not necessarily trying to find out if you are that person or not. You a person and you fit that vague description. That's all that's needed. And then all you do need after that is someone to come by and say, yeah, that's the person. That's the guy. That's the girl. And then when you see, like Jordan, the chosen one said, they seen the real guy that the police had just pulled over, and that was him. But he fit that description as well. So, I mean, I don't know. It's a lot that needs to change in our society. Society just all screwed up. But the justice system as well. Just everybody, if you could, I know this is a shot in the dark. Put yourself in other people's shoes. Think about how you affect your own community. Think about the community that you and your family live in. Are you making it better or are you making it worse? A lot of times you can make it worse by thinking that it does not pertain to you, so you have nothing to say on the subject. Because you never know when it can pertain to you, and you would wish that somebody else would care. With that being said, I'm about to get me a couple of laps. The sun is about to set. If I catch some good little shots of the sun setting, then I'll take those. I'm sorry that I am fumbling all over my words through this video. I didn't mean to, but maybe my mind is still going to bed. You know, I've been tired since that trip because I missed that whole day of sleep, and I've actually was told that you can't even catch up on sleep. Like once you miss a night of sleep, you pretty much miss it. I don't care if you go and try to sleep for hours and hours after it, your body is still like jet lagged, right? So I don't know if that's what it is, but I'm tired. But all of it was worth it because I see my husband graduate, girl. Congratulations. If y'all want to do something nice for Marcello, please check out his change petition in the description box below. You can share it. If you already signed it, thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of our hearts, because that shows you have a heart, because I can't do this on my own. I can only do it with you all. And I'm so grateful that you took your precious time to look at it. But if you have already signed it, share it. Thank you. I appreciate any and everybody that looks at this video. But please, just be very careful. Always know your surroundings. Always, we learned that in martial arts. Girl, you got to be ready for anything. Like that stance, mudo, ready for anything. Yes. It's your girl Cadillac.